in a gang?
Maybe. I did a little.
What gang was you in?
I did a little like consulting for the Bloods, the Mac Baller set. Um, I was like the interim CFO. They lost their CFO to, I don't know, this like incident, let's just say, and somebody needed to show up with experience and fix the books. And I told them I had public company experience and I could jump in there. I had other leadership skills. And yeah, I mean, I was a member. I was a sleaze, is the way they referred to their members. I was Shkreli the sleaze, or sleaze, just what up sleaze, to which I would respond, what up? And yeah, it was nice. It was a lot of camaraderie, it felt like, a brotherhood of sorts. So it was cool, but I didn't, I'm Albanian, and, I had to clear this with the big Albanians, and they were okay with it. When you take a consulting gig like that, you have to be very careful that you're not alienating the other people that you have business relationships with. And in this case, as an Albanian, dealing with this predominantly black gang was, it had some sensitivities that I had to navigate. And I was able to, proceed with the project without, alienating my friends in business. So that was sort of, how that worked. And it was fruitful. I helped get the Mac Ballers on their feet. Unfortunately, the crew disbanded due to snitching allegations. Nicki Minaj was actually involved in this crew, believe it or not. If you can look up the facts on that, I'm not kidding. She married one of these guys who left prison. It's a pretty wild story. So in any event, yeah, I did a little work there. Let me see what else. I mean, guys would try to.
Did you help them launch a meme coin?
I don't.
Sounds like they have a great
So
community.
so it's funny. It's an interesting question. So I had a thing called Crypto Thugs, which was a like teaching inmates. It was tongue in cheek. It was sort of teaching inmates about crypto and computing in general, and it was a little tongue in cheek because it would get people interested in it, and but it was real, it was serious, and a lot of those guys are in crypto now, and we've talked about making a gang coin that would have like this. I guess it would be a mutable kind of flag, no pun intended, where you could actually adjust it to your gang, and each gang coin owner could like sort of you could have different sort of market share of gangs. So like you might have your gang coin and you'd set it all to Bloods, or you might set it all to Crip or Latin King or whatever, and you could actually see on chain who had the stronger sort of power on gang chain or gang coin. So we had some ideas like that. I also thought about Blood coin or Bloods, and you could actually distribute it amongst the Blood members. So like the first token holders, it wouldn't be like a KOL round or anything. It would just be like the Godfather, what they call GF. First time I asked, what's GF? And the guy whispers to me, he's like, Godfather, shut the fuck up now. Stop asking questions. And I didn't know any of this shit. But Godfather is like the big boss, like the Italian mob. And so the Godfather would hand out, tokens to each territory or each set, or, Bloods are complicated. It's a sort of a decentralized system in the first place. So it's kind of a DAO already. But let's say it was more of a national gang that wasn't sort of so decentralized, although they've all sort of adopted that strategy for survival reasons. But let's say you had like maybe a different kind of gang that was much more centralized. You would sort of give tokens to the chain of command down the chain, and you could use those tokens to, I don't know, do whatever you want. And those tokens could be passed to people for incentives or for a job well done or whatever. And this could apply to any organization. So in any event, we joked about it. Never went through with it, of course, but it certainly was a funny idea.
Hey, speaking of Albania and flags, like, do you see randomly, like, the last 6 months, like, Kanye just starts sporting all this Albanian eagle shit, and, like, Drake and all these people? I have this, like, friend, Albanian fashion designer, and I'm like, where is this coming from?
He's been doing a lot of that. He did it with German as well. Like, he had a bunch of these eagles and stuff like that. I think he's just interested in that design pattern. That reminds me, I have to fucking...
Drake too. Drake keeps posting. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know where trends like that come from, but I have to Kanye's team asked me for a 3-sentence pitch on why Yay, $Yay meme coin needs to happen. And I'm like trying to figure out what to write, but it's basically like it doesn't need to happen. So like I'm like, I'm the worst person to pitch this because I'm like, it's basically just money. Is that the pitch? Hold on, I have to take my new asthma drug.
You're taking their question too literally. They're just asking you to convince them.
But I don't want to convince them.
Dude, for the bit.
Sorry. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think Yay Chain would be interesting, but it would require a lot of trust on his part to let me kind of do my thing, and he'd just have to kind of go with it, and that's really not the kind of guy he is. He's much more controlling, and like I just have to be able to like have free creative reign over it, and that's just not something I think he'd ever agree to. And he's smart, like, yeah.
So what happened there? Did word get out about the success of the Donald Trump token, and then Kanye's team messaged you?
No. I just happen to have a relationship there, so
Do you think that they saw the events that unfolded and
No.
they were like, yeah, we want a piece of that, or like what happened?
No, I mean, I think I was talking to everyone about like these like B and C and D tier people launching meme coins, and that they're terrible ideas because you don't have enough raw material, if you will, to actually make a product around it. There's no brand with Jason Derulo. Like, he doesn't do anything. Like, nobody cares about his music. He's just not interesting enough to actually power, an entire, movement like that. So to me, someone like Kanye has enough movement and enough action in the world that he could conceivably, potentially, be able to work with a meme coin such that, it actually became useful, possibly.
Martin is educate me here, because this isn't my stick. Would his like designs and that sort of stuff be asset backed, legally asset backed a coin?
I don't know, honestly. I think that you can do a number of things with it. The big issue with these tokens and coins is that you have to drive demand somehow for the token, and typically the way that's done is with attention. But inevitably inevitably that second derivative of attention just sort of will turn negative, and you can't sustain the attention for long because attention is by its nature ephemeral. You cannot have a sustained attention on one thing. And that's why this community is kind of doomed. NFTs, meme coins, all of it, because there's just no way to actually sustain long-term attention on something without even with artists. It's very hard. Music is full of people that try to do exactly that. They'll do a sex tape, they'll do whatever it takes to stay relevant. Actors, actresses, anyone in society tries to do the same, and it's very, very, very hard to sustain getting attention. And these tokens sort of need that to survive, or they need people who aren't willing to sell. But either way, attention's an important component of it. And anyway, sounds like a few people want to talk. Ryan, there's a lot of background.